Ever wondered what goes on in the mind of a narcissist? How do their words reflect their mindset? Today, we're diving into the world of narcissistic communication, specifically focusing on what a narcissistic wife might say to her husband. It's not just about overt insults, there's a deeper layer of manipulation and control in their words. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with the knowledge to identify these statements and understand the underlying intentions. Ready to decode the language of narcissism? Let's unravel the mystery behind those carefully crafted words. 1. You're overreacting. Step into the realm where your emotions and reactions are perpetually discredited. Welcome to a conversation with a narcissistic spouse. Imagine pouring your heart out, only to be met with a dismissive, "You're overreacting," or "You're too sensitive." This tactic is generally used to undermine your emotions, making them seem invalid or excessive. By diminishing your feelings, a narcissistic wife exerts control over the narrative, ensuring she is never held accountable for her actions. This cold dismissal of emotions can be deeply hurtful, leading you to question your own emotional responses and gradually eroding your self-esteem. It's a crafty method to sidestep responsibility and portray you as the problematic one. So, it's vital to recognize this dismissive tactic and safeguard your emotional integrity. 2. If you loved me, you would. This statement plays on emotional blackmail, manipulating your feelings and loyalty towards her. A narcissistic wife might say, "If you loved me, you would do this for me," or "How can you say you love me when you can't even do this simple thing?" It's a trap whereby your love and dedication are perpetually questioned to make you bend over backwards to prove your devotion. By tying your actions, particularly those that cater to her whims, directly to your love for her, she maintains a stronghold on your activities and decisions. It's essential to remember that love should never be conditional or transactional. True love and respect involve understanding and compromise, not threats and ultimatums. 3. I do everything for you. Manipulation may arrive cloaked in benevolence when a narcissistic wife asserts, "I do everything for you." Here, she magnifies her contributions, efforts, and sacrifices, often overshadowing and belittling yours. This narrative serves a dual purpose. It not only positions her on a moral high ground, but also implicitly imposes a debt on you, creating a power imbalance. This framework facilitates a guilt mechanism wherein you might feel obliged to comply with her demands, concede during disagreements, or overlook her shortcomings. Such a dynamic is detrimental, for it veils exploitation beneath the guise of selflessness, and perpetuates a cycle where your efforts are persistently undervalued. Recognize your worth and contributions, ensuring they are neither diminished nor utilized as leverage against you. 4. No one else would put up with you. In this scenario, the narcissistic wife endeavours to erode your self-worth with the sinister insinuation that you are fundamentally unlovable or burdensome, saying things like, "No one else would put up with you," or "You're lucky I'm here for you." By undermining your self-esteem and implanting the fear of solitude or rejection, she fortifies her position of control within the relationship. This emotionally destructive tactic can compel you to tolerate unacceptable behaviour and curtail your expectations from the relationship out of gratitude or fear. Remember that you are deserving of a healthy, reciprocal relationship, and do not allow fear-mongering to tether you to toxicity. 5. You always make things difficult. Enter the blame game, where the narcissistic wife deflects responsibility and projects it onto you with accusations like, "You always make things difficult," or "Everything would be fine if you didn't behave this way." This strategic shift of blame enables her to bypass accountability, framing you as the antagonist who perpetually creates issues. The unspoken implication here is a demand for you to alter your behaviour, needs, or boundaries to accommodate her, under the pretense of maintaining peace. In reality, your actions or needs are not the root of conflict. Rather, it's her unwillingness to embrace accountability or compromise. Hold firm in the knowledge that healthy relationships involve mutual respect and shared responsibility. 6. You don't appreciate anything I do. In an emotional whirlwind, she may use statements like, "You don't appreciate anything I do," to manipulate circumstances to her advantage. This tactic typically surfaces during disagreements or when she feels criticised, acting as a shield that deflects focus from the issue at hand. By positioning herself as the unappreciated victim, she seeks to divert the conversation, manipulate your emotions, and place you on the defensive, thus averting any form of accountability for her actions. Understanding and communication become key here. Engage in dialogues that remain focused on resolving issues without being sidetracked by deflection tactics. 7. You're too sensitive. Embarking on a discourse about emotional expressions and sensitivities in the realm of a relationship, a narcissistic wife often resorts to the utterance, "You're too sensitive," towards her husband as a tactic of belittlement and control. This succinct yet loaded statement serves multifaceted purposes in the hands of a narcissist. Initially, it acts as a shield, deflecting any legitimate concerns or emotions expressed by the husband back onto him, thus neatly sidestepping any accountability she might have to bear. By labelling him as too sensitive, she essentially invalidates his feelings and expressions, undermining his reality and ultimately his confidence in his own perceptions. In a deeper context, this expression is a subtle yet powerful tool to cultivate a landscape of self-doubt and uncertainty within the husband. The consistent usage of this phrase can gradually erode his emotional resilience, causing him to internalize the criticism and potentially begin censoring his expressions of emotion or concern to avoid further mockery. Moreover, the narcissistic wife, via this method, is not only establishing a hierarchy where her emotions and perceptions are superior and more valid, but also suffocating healthy communication and emotional intimacy within the relationship. Thus, the environment becomes ripe for further manipulation and control, underscoring the toxic dynamics often at play when navigating interactions with a narcissistic individual. 10. You're always blaming me for everything. Deeply entrenched in the psychological toolbox of a narcissistic wife is the potent tactic of playing the victim, a masterful performance that allows her to reverse the roles of offender and defended seamlessly. This maneuver involves the narcissist shrouding themselves in a cloak of vulnerability and suffering, often to divert attention from their own malevolent actions, cast blame elsewhere, or generate sympathy that can be leveraged for later exploitation. Let's dive into the complexities of this manipulation. When a narcissistic wife senses that she's being questioned, challenged, or stands on the brink of accountability, she adeptly switches the narrative, positioning herself as the beleaguered victim rather than the culprit. You might hear phrases like, "You're always blaming me for everything," or "I do everything for you, and this is how you repay me." These statements serve to deflect and redistribute blame, often leading the true victim, in this case the husband, to second-guess his own experiences and possibly apologise for inciting her perceived suffering. After recognising those words from a narcissistic spouse, you might be wondering what else lurks beneath. Delve deeper into why a narcissistic wife avoids intimacy, or explore questions that disorient a narcissistic partner. Your engagement is invaluable. Show appreciation with a like, engage below, and ensure you're subscribed for continued exploration.